Hey everyone, this is Top Deck King. Thank you. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have kind of a fun but a somewhat competitive deck. Um, I put this more on a fun deck for me personally because I don't really play too many creature-based decks, and this is a lot of creatures, 24 creatures. It could easily win. It can easily lose, obviously, but it's a Bant Humans deck, and the blue is in here for like the counter spells against, the control decks or the what is it, the festival and Ren decks and stuff like that. So Bant Humans, it is a good deck, but I don't think it's a tier 1 deck, but it's a very fun deck and it's pretty decent. So, but not tier 1, but decent. But yes, thank you for joining me, tuning into my channel. Hopefully by the time you're done watching, you go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Check the description of the video. It has my Twitter, Twitch. It has the Aether Hub deck list. You can port this list to Arena if you want to play this deck. It has other stuff inside the description. Check that out. Don't forget to drop some comments down below. Now let's get into the deck tech. So it's Bant Humans. It's a creature-based deck. So right off the bat, as my one drop, I'm playing 2 Paladin class because one, it's gonna. I like the ability to tax my opponent's mana on my turn, so that way I know if something could resolve or not. Also the 3 mana level 2 and level 3 is also very effective in this deck. Because giving 1/1 creatures to a creature deck where they run 24 creatures is very solid. But then at the same time, giving a creature +1/1 and double strike is also a very solid card. So all 3 effects are relevant for this deck. I'm not sure if I would run 4 copies of this card, but 2 is a very solid number. And so let me put this, actually, I don't know why it decided to move some of that stuff around. This goes here, this goes here. Okay, so as far as our 2 drops goes, we have 4 adversaries, 4 aspirants, 2 ranger class, and 2 Dawnheart Prime. So adversary obviously good when you have a lot of mana. You can start pumping all your creatures +1/1. This card, it has a 3/1 with lifelink. This card's actually pretty decent for, which makes sense why it's a mythic card. It's very decent for creature-based decks because even worst case scenario, you do this for 4 mana. Now all your creatures get +1/1. He becomes a 4/2 lifelinker. Your other creatures start getting beefed up. So 2-drop 3/1 lifelinker that can boost your other creatures' powers and himself. Pretty good. So well, that's what he's good for. Aspirant, once again, it's another human. It's also boosts the creature's powers of your other cards. He's obviously played in a lot of creature-based decks, so it fits perfectly here since he is also a human. Ranger class, once again, we're using this for, the creating the 2/2 wolf is nice, but we're mainly using it for the put the 1/1 counter on target creature and then being able to cast spells or creatures off the top of my deck. But putting the 1/1 counter on creatures is very helpful because, for example, put them in when the creatures can control for each valor counter. So if you put 1 valor counter on him and then you put another counter on him, he becomes like a 5/3, lifelinker, putting counters here. We have so many creatures that could gain counters. That's what it's helpful for. And then since our curve is really low, for the most part, it's 3 costs or less. So when we level up Ranger class, we could pretty much play the top card of our deck for the most part. At least 1 spell, if not 2 to 3 spells per turn. Now, Dawnheart Prime is good. It has, the protection from werewolf part, I don't think that's very relevant, but the ability that your humans can tap for any mana or any mana of their color is really good. But then on top of that, late game, you could put a 1/1 counter, tap it, 6 mana, put a 1/1 counter on all creatures, and then it kind of triggers with Teferi. So if I put a 1/1 counter on all creatures, it taps it. I could use Teferi to untap it and then do it again. Since all my humans can tap for mana, you're able to do this effect possibly multiple times per turn. You might not be able to attack that turn, but putting 2 1/1 counters on all your creatures is pretty solid. So he's a good effect. He's a mana ramper and a possibility of putting counters on your creatures, and the hidden ability of being protection from werewolves. It's okay. We got 3 brutals as our 3 costs here. We have 3 brutals, we have 4 elite spellbinders, 2 trackers, and 2 autumns here. So obviously this is kind of like a play on Skyclave Apparition, except it only goes after creatures. But since he's a human and he could transform, That's what he's here for. He's here to take creatures, be a human, and be able to transform and get bigger. Obviously, we're in white. 3 elite spellbinders is very, very, very crucial in any kind of creature. This guy in any creature kind of deck. This guy is very good because he takes away curves against your opponent. He's also a human, which is helpful. Like the theme of this deck is obviously humans, so him being human is very helpful. But the fact that he could take a curve card away from your opponent and taxing it for 2 more mana is huge. And so that's why there's 4 copies of this, just because of how strong it can be. 3/1 flyer, taxes a card out of their hand, takes them off curve, stuff like that. We got 2 trackers in the deck. She's also human, vigilance, lets you draw cards. I'm debating on if I want more copies of this. So maybe if I cut one of the prime down for another tracker, because worst case scenario, it becomes a 3 mana 4/3. If they kill it, so they kill it, it's a 1-for-1 trade. You lost your creature, they lost the card. But then down the road, the clue gives you an extra card off it. So it ends up being a +1 ability because you can sack the clue to draw a card. So we'll see how it plays out if I want 2 or 3. Obviously, it's a human, so it plays well in that aspect. But the card advantage as well as being a creature is pretty huge. It kind of reminds me of the 1-drop white creature from old standard. Same effect. When he came into play, he created a clue. Obviously, that's a 1-drop versus a 3-drop. There's a big difference, but same concept in a sense. And that creature was played in 4, obviously. 2 autumns. This is to let us look at the top of our deck, play lands, and if we get the ability, we can start, or the Coven ability, we can also play the creatures. The reason why there's not more copies of her that I'm not running her is because she has a 3 toughness, 2 power, so she can easily be overwhelmed for a 3 cost. So she's still good. If her toughness was, say, 4, I would play more copies of her, but the 3 toughness allows her to die to a frostbite, allows her to die to like dragonfire. There's a lot of cards that can kill her. So if the 4 toughness was there, even if she was a 1/4, I would run more copies of her. But because of that, I'm only going to be running 2 copies of her. Now, to top off our curve tops off at 4. We have 2 chariots, just because chariot is such a huge card. On top of that, chariot can make clue tokens, so that's another hidden thing. It can also make wolf tokens, so we have a couple of ways to generate tokens with it. But chariot is such a huge card, and since Sigarda is in the deck, it could pump humans. There's also Luminarch Aspirant, Paladin class, so animating chariot should be pretty easy. 3 Sigardas, she's legendary. Unfortunately, if she wasn't legendary, I would probably have 4 copies of her. 4/4 for flying, for 4 boosting all the humans we control by 1. She's very solid. She's not a human herself, otherwise that would be kind of not nuts, but it'd be amazing because then it'd be a 4 mana 5/5 flying trample, which would be really good. But she helps all our other humans out, and since she's legendary, I only have 3 copies of her. She could possibly go down to 2 copies just because she is legendary, and the legendary clause does matter. It could get in the way. 2 negates to deal with some like control aspects, board wipe effects, maybe possibly counter a Ren or a festival in case that happens. And then 3 fairies. This allows us to look at cards off the top of our deck. It allows us to untap permanents, gain life, stuff like that. 3 copies. Maybe we won't be needing 3 copies of this. Maybe just try out 2, but I'm gonna leave 3 in at the moment. But so there's some numbers that I could play around with. Sigarda to 2, Teferi to 2. Maybe we boost this up to 3, bring this down to 2. Maybe boost this to 4. Maybe boost this to 3. These maybe 3 or 4 copies. So we're gonna go test this out, and I'll get more into the sideboard at the end of the video. So at the end of the gameplay, I'll go ahead and show what I changed about the deck, as well as go into the sideboard and explain the sideboard a little bit, what it's for, why it's there. So stick around to the end of the video to see if the deck changes. But we're gonna go give this Bant Humans deck a try on the Mythic ladder. This is the best of 3 of deck, so let's go see how we do on the ladder. Stay tuned. We found an opponent. Let's see what we can do. Dante. Yeah, I don't know why it closed the stream for me for some reason. I mean, it would have been better if we went first, but I can't not keep this hand. It's another blue deck. Is blue very popular in best of three? Blue black on top of that. I haven't played best of three in a while, but it seems like blue decks are very popular in best of three, apparently. Because this is the third one we played right now. Blue white, blue black, Kasmina or Kasima. So since we drew Teferi, I guess I put this on blue. Let's look at their hand. This is interesting. I wasn't expecting that guy at all. I mean, I guess we grab this one. Can't attack. Go ahead. We can cast this. Okay, he removed it. Interesting. I haven't seen Kasima in a control deck. It's kind of interesting, I guess. Let's hope I draw another land. I want to cast this guy. What do you got? Blood Chief on my token? Yep. Interesting. Okay, well, we didn't draw it. So, let's go to combat. And let's elite Spellbinder, maybe the Disdainful Stroke out of his hand. Did he draw a counterspell? Is this face down card? Saw it coming? He drew Saw it coming. Nice. Very nice, opponent. Very nice. I need another land. So that way I can cast multiple spells per turn. I guess let's just keep getting aggressive then, because his Disdainful Stroke's not going to do anything in his hand. I could also just level that up, but I want to throw more threats out. Man, he's just drawing counterspells like crazy. Saw it coming, Disdainful Stroke. Jeez. And he's also kind of looking for land, so you could bring his Kasima back. There he goes. Now he's going to dig for a land. There you go. Didn't bring it back. Didn't bring it back. There's a land, I guess. I guess we're going to Spellbinder to see what the two cards he has. One of them may be a removal spell. Alright, we'll take the Behold, I guess. Since your hand is kind of odd. So we have 3, 6, 7, 8 damage against him next turn. He's going to have to eventually do something here. So he's going to bring that guy back, grab 2 cards out of it, draw 2 cards. I would bring him back if I were you, opponent. You need to draw some removal. Or not, I guess. Pretty sure you need to draw removal. Unless I'm missing something. Alright. So, there's 2 things I could do here. I can force the counter spell, which will then force him to not be able to play Behold, and I hit him for 6. 1 unknown here. That's what I'm pretty sure I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm going to force the counter spell here. Because I don't want him to play Behold here. If he plays Disdainful Stroke, he can't play Behold. If he plays... It doesn't matter. If he plays any spell here, he can't play Behold. That's the main thing here. I want to stop him from playing both Behold from, just drawing cards, because he could draw like a board wipe effect. And we have 6 damage on him, so technically we have him on a 2-turn clock. Yep, see? So hit you for 6. Now he needs to draw a removal spell or he's dead. So one of the 2 cards in his hand needs to be removal. or he's just dead. And then even if it is removal, we could play Aspirant and level up Ranger class, and one Spellbinder hits him for 5 damage. So either way, it works out for us. There we go, see? Yeah, we couldn't let him just sit back and draw, and stuff like that. Okay. So, I think we don't need this. That's a little expensive. Negate, Tested Talents are pretty solid in this matchup. I don't think I want Disdainful Stroke per se. Because it seems like, for the most part, all his cards were, I mean, other than Behold, Disdainful Stroke wasn't able to counter. I mean, obviously they have higher cost cards, but I don't think so. We're gonna cut these obviously because he's not really running creatures, or we didn't see. I mean, other than Kasima, we didn't see much other than that. I could take one of these out. I could actually just take maybe all of them out and just leave the Disdainful Strokes in as well. I could also leave in the Ranger class. Actually, let's do that instead. The Ranger class also helps me out in the long haul, because then I can start playing the creatures off the top if I don't draw the autumn creature. So we'll see. Opponent goes first. They had what, 3, 4? They had 5 counter spells that game. 3 saw it comings. All right, we'll keep because we can play a turn 1, turn 2 effect. Turn 1 Paladin class. There's a 1 mana. Oh, consider. I was like, there's a 1 mana counter spell? I was gonna say, wait a minute. Wait a minute, opponent. You're next leveling me if that was the case. This card is really good against control too because it taxes their mana. Because now they can't play, you know, the 2 mana counter spells on us. They need 3 mana counter spells pretty much. We have a lot of lands though, but at least we get to cast spells. There's Behold, because he can't cast that on my turn. He cannot play Behold on my turn. He has to do it now. Humans you control. We have no humans in our hand, but humans you control. 2, 4. Did he miss a land drop? And he Behold? Wait, what did you keep then? He kept 2 cards on top. I don't know what this opponent's doing right now. That was very odd. All right, so we're going to play Ranger class here, so that way the next turn I could level them both up. So this way I hit him for 2, and then next turn I hit him for 6. He's back. Hey, Mac, I am back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. So next turn, we're just going to level up the 2 Ranger classes. Test the Talents is actually a very good draw, and for that, I'm going to go ahead and put this on blue. He can only play a 2-mana spell here. Oh, what? Oh, that's right, because I only have 1 green source. Never mind. That's fine. I can hold up Test the Talents. Been watching the videos. Good shit. Cooked up in Azorius list. Blue-white is no joke now. Yeah, I mean, I've played against a couple of blue-white decks now, so it seems like the blue-white is a very strong deck people are playing right now. Prior to joining, I played against, I think, 2 blue-white decks. Now we're playing against blue-black. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2. So that's one of their counter spells, so we'll go ahead and counter that and see what there's in their hand. Oh my gosh, look at this guy's hand. Look at this guy's hand. Literally nothing but counter spells. It's a Delver deck? That's why. This guy's hand. What? What's up, Finnegan? So many counters. Yep, so many counters. Wow. Alright, so put this one on green. Let's play another Paladin class. I feel like I want to level this one up to level 4. Or level 3, I should say. That way I could start seeing where I could start playing off the top of my deck. This guy is just all counter magic, man. Demir decks are always aids. It's satisfying just smashing them since their sole purpose is to make your life miserable. 4 Delvers, 24 lands, 32 counter spells. Divide by 0. Up, he's gonna go grab environmental science so he can hit that land. Yup, there it is. Hey, well, guess what? We can actually tax you on that. So let's go ahead and take that from your hand for the moment being, because you can't cast it now. Unless you draw a land. Good game, opponent. Good game. Man. Alright, play first. It's a keepable hand. It's not the greatest, but it's a keepable hand. We have a turn 2 here. I guess a turn 3 with no, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm gonna call it kick because that's what it seems like it is. It's like you're kicking it in a sense. For each 2 mana you spend, you kick it. What is this? First strike ward. I have no idea what that is, or I don't know what it's played in, I should say. Was this like a mono white aggro deck? Each creature you control has ward 1. Yeah, it is a mono white aggro deck. Okay. Mono white aggro. All right. Well, oh man, it doesn't matter, I guess. All right. So play this tapped. I want to kick this. So I'm thinking I'm going to hold back on it because I could play Chariot next turn, and then if I kick this, the Chariot tokens are 3/3s, and then everything Chariot creates also becomes 3/3s. So I'm thinking I might hold this back. Obviously, this is also kind of good against their board, but also not because this guy's first strike. So I think I'm just going to hold it back. I'm not going to attack. Since he's a mono white aggro deck, I'm just going to hold it back. Save my life points for now. We're going to cast Chariot next turn. Got to put this on blue so we can cast a fairy. Since we already have double white, double green anyways. Wait, doesn't this oh, it's a disturb effect, not transforms. Okay. No! At least we get to sack it then. And draw a card here, but that was rude, opponent. Very rude. Alright, just activate. I haven't found a use for Teferian control decks yet. It's not a control card. That's the only bad thing about him. He is not a control card. Because untapping everything during your opponent's turn, I mean, sure, that's why he's in a tap out control, not a like hard control, but I don't think he's a control card. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library in order. What the heck are you attacking for? Am I missing something? Why is he attacking? What do you mean, oops? I don't believe the oops. I think he's, I don't know. He said oops. I don't believe the oops. That costs 4 to bring back. Fine first strike. Yeah, I know oops. Oops is definitely a trap, but I'm kind of wondering, should I just chump this and then my guys die and take 4? Or should I take the monk and trade? I guess I'll just do that. I could also chump block here. I don't believe this oops. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, oops. Yeah. Alright. Okay, opponent, what's your oops? So if I play this as 4, play a land, I could untap, choose a land. I guess we could just play Sigarda, but then, Yeah, I 100% didn't believe that oops at all. Yeah, oops. Okay. I can cast 2/3/1s, but that doesn't do anything. I can also cast Teferi plus it and then cast one of these. That might be better, actually. Let's do that. All right. So, Teferi. So, target up to one artifact. Okay, target up to one creature. Submit 0 and up to one land. Let's target that. We also gain some life from that, and then we'll create a 3/1 lifelinker. And Teferi doesn't technically die because I could block the monk and it'll take 4. Legion Angel, sure. So we'll block the Usher or the monk, probably the monk. So that way Teferi only takes 4. So block here. It'll take 4. Teferi lives. We trade. I gain 3 life. Tracker's actually pretty good though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have access to 7 mana. So 3 and 4. That makes it 7. Let's put this on. We have white, white, white. So let's put this on. I do need more white because of that. Oh, what am I saying to white? This is only blue or green. All right. So let's tap this guy. Let's swing, create a artifact. Let's copy this. It gives us more draw down the road. You could chump block, sure. I mean, that's fine. I didn't care for that. Let's do target up to one artifact. Okay, target up to one creature. Target one land. And then we'll play Sigarda. Sigarda! And we gain life. We're back up to 20 life. We got 3 clues that we can sack to draw 3 cards right out there. Sure. I'll kill you, kill you. Ah, it dies though, huh? Lame. So since it's going to die regardless, because if I block here and block here, it takes 2, it dies. So instead, I'm just going to eat up his creatures. Since they're just going to die regardless. Sure. Teferi's dead. My Teferi's gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, I hate that it always uses up your white mana though. So let's do that. And then auto pay. 1, 2, 3. Put that on green. Let's get aggressive. Get aggressive, sure. I wish this guy had trample. That would have been nice. Yep. Got game 1. Alright, so mono white aggro. Alright. Mono white aggro. So we probably don't need the paladin class. I mean, it does, because like, I mean, it makes their spells cost more during my turn, doesn't matter. But the +1/+1 is good. So what I'm thinking of bringing in is like Skyclave Apparition and possible Fateful Absence. I could cut 1 Teferi for that. They're an aggro deck. I don't think I'm getting the 6 mana. So if I bring in those 2 for that. Let's cut maybe 1 for a Fateful Absence here. Let's try that. My opponent tried with the oops. We knew what was happening there. Come on, opponent. Chart man. Not that clever. Not that clever. Bant Humans. I have a green white token version. I guess we keep because we can cast this turn 2, this turn 3. or even cast this turn 3. So we'll keep. This gives me the mana to tap this for color, whatever you want to call it. But we could do white green. This could be blue if anything. This taps. So, oh, we drew to fairy. Well, now that's definitely becoming blue. I was thinking about white, but we drew to fairy, so that's definitely blue. I want Teferi to be so much better than it actually is, but no, he took my land. Why'd you do that, opponent? Alright, let's see what their hand is. I was gonna cast the tracker here, but I want to see what their hand. What the heck is this guy? And what is this guy? So I guess I take this because it's still he keeps creating tokens with this guy. Alright. And if he casts the Planeswalker, it goes up to 4. I could kill. Wait, it gives it what? First strike, double strike. Target creature without first strike. Oh, I see what it does. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie, opponent. So then he's gonna be able to add it to his hand. All right, so let's put this on white, obviously. Let's cast Sigarda. That's flying. It says target creature without first strike, double strike, or vigilance can't attack or block until the end of turn. Well, this guy has vigilance, so that's pretty cool. And he went to look for that, so this guy's dead, I guess, right? Unless he has a way to kill, because we have you have another Skyclave. He has another Skyclave. Well, the good thing is he took the wrong creature. No blocks. Because I have another one of those guys. Ooh. Till this creature leaves the battlefield. Alright. So he grabs another monk here, I guess. Another monk. Yep. So he's gonna hit me for what? 2, 4, 6 at least. That brings me down to 10. I have this guy's life linker, so I can technically gain some life back, and I can kick it. So we have that as well for us. What I'm thinking though is if I cast the fairy, let's see if I can kill it first. So let's see if I could kill it first. Guess not. Fateful of Abstinence. Okay. That was lame. So if I cast a fairy, that doesn't really do anything. I can cast this, remove this, get the token. Get my token back. And I also create a 2/2. That way there's enough threats. If I had another land, it would have been nice. Then I could have at least casted the tracker also. But I can sack the thing. So I'm thinking maybe I just sack it now in case I draw a land. Since I'm not going to do anything with that mana anyways. Oh, we already played a land, I guess. Oops. Well, I guess that gets better with this. Because now we put 3 counters. Or 2 counters on everything. 2 counters. Sure. Legion Angel, sure. Are you going to attack me? No, you're not. Alright, let's just make everything big. So, white, blue, white, green, and then autopay. Alright, so there's 6 6s, so we can attack here. He has to double block to kill 1. And yeah, well, then I guess they're just dead. Sure. Sure. Both of them are dead. Sure. I guess it doesn't matter because they're both dead regardless, but no, he takes my adversary. I forgot about that. I was thinking it was like a Skyclave apparition, and I'm like, he gets to, take my Skyclave and he gets to create a 2/2 or whatever. That's okay. That's okay. What the heck is this guy? When it enters the battlefield, exile up to one target card from a graveyard. Exile up to one target, and then it says choose a color. It gains hexer from that color until then turn and can be blocked by creatures of that color. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. Okay. That's an interesting card. Yeah, I don't know what that was interesting. 3, 6, 7. Okay, so that's 7 mana. So swing here. I guess swing both, I guess. Let's swing both here, because even if he blocks the 2/2, it trades with at least those cards. And if he blocks with Skyclave, I get a 2/2 back from it. I mean, we get to kill both of these, right? Because he blocked the... Wait, he's blocking really bad. I guess it didn't matter. They're all 2/2 powers. Never mind. They are all 2/2/2/2 powers. Alright, let's look at the top cards of my deck. I guess I'll grab a Chariot. Let's grab the Chariot. I think they're dead. I think they're dead. This guy's never turning into a 7/7 dragon, so... I mean, he gets to cast the Monk and gets to cast the Legion Angel, but I think they're dead. Well, not dead, but I think their creatures are... This Planeswalker's finally gone, I should say. I should say the Planeswalker's finally gone. Alright. So, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do 4 and 3. That might be good. I take the Angel, and I can kill this. Yeah, let's do that. So, Skyclave, the Angel. I could also just take the Grandmaster, but I'll take the Angel, so that way my creatures kind of don't die in a sense. So, let's see. So if I attack this to this, it doesn't work. If I have to swing all 3 at it, because if I attack this, he blocks, then these will kill it. If I attack this, it doesn't kill it, so I literally have to send all 3 here, huh? Choose one, reveal a creature. That's actually interesting. I think we'll grab Elite Spellbinder, because then he can't cast this. That costs 5. Oh, you can cast that, I guess. That costs 5 mana. Alright. Good game, friend. Good game. Speedway Gym. Let's play Speedway. I'm assuming they're probably going to be on a green deck. Seems like almost everybody is on a green deck. Okay, it's a playable hand. We have either turn 2 Ranger class or turn 2 Aspirant into a possible turn 3, take one of their creatures into, like Sigarda and whatnot. So it's playable. It's playable. It's not obviously the greatest, but it's not the worst. And I hate that even for 0 mana, it always has me activate this. Are we playing against Izzet, maybe? Yep. Looks like we're playing against Izzet. So that's not going to be great for me. Well, negate's actually not too bad. So I'm going to put this on white, though, because that's going to give me the blue. So put this on white. Let's cast Ranger class. And then pass turn. We can use this to steal this if we want. Oh, he has 2 of them now, so maybe not. Okay, so play this. Upgrading it kind of doesn't do anything. He's going to be able to transform this guy pretty soon, though. I'll play Aspirant. Guess I could just... Oh, man, this is tough. Okay, I guess I'll take one. 04 bodies are pretty good. 04 bodies are pretty good. He's gonna kill the brutal Cathar guy, whatever, and then yeah, go from there. So next turn, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Aspirant and level up Ranger class, I guess. Oh, okay. Or pay 3 life. So we have negate. So we have the blue. Let's put this on green. Actually, I don't need a second. I do need a second green. But I also want a blue so I can hold up negate and use these for possibly white. So I think I'm gonna do that. Put this one on blue. Play this and hold up negate. Could also level this up. That might be better actually. Let's level this up. Because then it starts getting everything bigger as we go. Let's go to combat. Swing. I guess we'll put it on this guy. That way if he just decides to block here, he'll... I'm surprised he didn't block this one. I wonder what that is for. Behold the multiverse. I guess we could counter that. There's no reason not to counter that, I guess. And he has ward, so if he wants to target him, he takes 3 life. Let's see what they got, though. What you got? Are you going to foretell something here? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, so if I cast 2 spells, it transforms it. Do I want to cast 2 spells? Cast Sigarda. I don't know if Sigarda does much here. But I guess... Humans you control. I could upgrade this, but I don't know if that does anything either. Alright, let's just cast Sigarda. It's also a flyer. He has a counter spell. That he does! And it requires 7, right? So swing with both. I guess we just put it on this. He's just gonna chump block that. But I could put it on this, and then next turn it gets. That's why I was debating on this, because then I could have put the counter here, attack, put the counter here, and there'll be 8 power. Sure. So yep, take 5. All right. Well, it's gonna transform next turn, or I should say next turn. It's gonna transform here. Pretty sure it just straight up transforms. So it becomes a 4/4 whenever you cast an instant sorcery, deals 2 damage to any target. Frostbite, sure. Transforms. Attack me for 4. That's interesting. And then foretell something. Alright. So if I play this and play... No, if I play this... I guess I could play this too. But then it gets 2 counters on it. I could also play this and upgrade that. So this would become 6, 7. That's not lethal. So we got 2 white. Guess I could put this on green now. I could also animate this. Is that lethal actually? So 3. I think that's lethal. 1, 2, 3. What am I doing? I was about to misplay. Yeah, I was about to misplay. Alrund's Epiphany. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. I have the manland in play I could just do. All right. So we're playing against the Dragons. Izzet Dragons. Izzet Dragons. So Disdainful Strokes obviously good. How many copies is debatable. Because obviously the only thing that's really going to be countering is like Behold the Multiverse and Goldspan and Outruns of Epiphany. So obviously it's good, but how many copies is where it's gonna come to see where it matters. All right. I think I'm gonna cut one of these. I know he plays the what's it called, the 04 guy, but I could actually I'm gonna cut all of them, and I'm bringing Skyclave instead because Sky I don't want to give them the creature back because this gives them the creature back. So if I take say like I don't know, I guess the difference is this could take Goldspan Dragon. So that's the difference, I guess. What if we do something like that? I still want to tax them on my turn. All right, let's try that. I guess that's the difference. Skyclave Apparition can't take Goldspan, whereas the other human creature can. But Skyclave, if it takes, you know, the Smoldering or whatever, they get like a 2/2, whereas the other one they get the creature back. I mean, this is an interestingly awful hand, but I guess I have lands, and I figure if I have 5 lands, I'm probably going to start hitting spells. Speaking of, there's one of them. And by spells, I mean creatures, and speaking of, there's one of them. Smoldering Egg. Smoldering Egg. Put the counter here. He got a Frostbite, but you know, hey, whatever. I can't stop a Frostbite. Sure. Interesting. Interesting to bring this in against me. So I don't know if you saw anything, you know what I mean? That's kind of odd, but okay. I can level this up, put a counter on it. I think that might just do that. All right. So if I put this on blue, no, let's put this on white. Let's go ahead and level this up. Put a counter here, swing. Hit him for 4. I don't know if they can kill a 4/4 quite. I mean, they could with that dragon spell, right? Dragonfire, I think it's right. They can kill a Dragonfire. Smoldering Egg. Smoldering Egg. Multiple Smoldering Eggs. I think I want to look at their hand, honestly. I already have what I need on board. I'd rather look at their hand. See what they're rocking with. Ooh. Well, that doesn't do much, so I think I'll take this because that's going to cost them 4 mana to play. That will be a pretty decent. I'm going to put this one on blue in case I need it, but I also might need green. Do I need green here? I got 1. I only need 1 there. So yeah, let's put this on blue. I guess we could put this here or put it here. Put it here because that's going to do 2 damage to it. Let's not let it die. Since this only does 2 damage to any other creature other than green, if I put the counter here, this Burning Hand can't destroy Elite Spellbinder. Puts 2 counters on everything. You got it. What? 4? Because it costs 4 mana? No, that's unfortunate. That's sad. But I think we just won the game, I believe. Because I'm going to put the counter on Elite Spellbinder, upgrade this, and a swing out. Attack. And swing for 12. Good game, opponent. Alright, hey everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. That was pretty some nicely spiced stuff. You know, we beat, what is it? We beat Mono White with this deck. We beat Izzet Dragons. We beat the Blue-Black Delver deck. So, I mean, it has the ability to beat some of the top-end decks, of course. Is it, like I said, I don't think it's a tier 1 deck. I think it's a tier 1.5, maybe 1 or 2. But it's definitely a very fun deck, and it's very class, you know. It's nice to have a class in the format. You know, obviously you have zombies, you have vampires. So it's nice to have another class, you know, humans going over here, and, you know, you can play it however you want. But it's a very fun deck to play. It's definitely a decent to good deck, as well as, you know, it could win out of nowhere, and it can do a lot of damage really quickly. So, but as far as the what's it called, the deck change. What we changed here is very minimal. I found out some copies were too much, some were too less. So 3 Teferis was too much in my opinion, 3 Sigardas was too much, and 3 Dawnheart Prime was a little bit too much. So what I did instead was I added 2 Commandos. This is a good way to kind of deal with Chariot right away, in a sense, because you can flash this creature in and then sack it to destroy an enchantment or artifact. It's a human, so it also gives you the ability to play at instant speed against certain decks. You play against control. 3/1 being a 3/1 body is not bad, but to be able to just sacrifice and destroy a certain enchantment is pretty nice. So I ended up adding 2 of her. The only other card that I was thinking of adding instead of that card was this creature, because it's also a human, but it allows me to go look for basic planes and put it in my hand. So it helps me with my mana. And then obviously if I control, 3 other more creatures, I could transform it for 3 mana and it becomes a 3/3 lifelinker. So it's debatable on which one I wanted to run. But so we added 2 of her in there. I added what's it called, Resplendent in the deck as well. And as far as that, I think that's the only changes we did. This obviously helps out because if you attack with some of your creatures, it creates another 1/1 white human token. And then when you have a paladin class leveled up, or if you have a Sigarda in play, those tokens get bigger. So I wanted to try her out. And since she's legendary, I don't want to put too much of her in there. And her power obviously requires how many creatures. So there's also a default to her. So, but it also helps activate some of these other things like the Coven abilities. So those are the only changes I made. And the sideboard, I added one of the Dawnbringer Clerics because it's, like I said, it's one of those effects where I like the destroy target enchantment effect, sort of, and I like the exile card from a graveyard. So if they have any the flashback cards, we can go ahead and exile a card from their graveyard. But other than that, there's nothing really changed. And as you saw, the deck is pretty decent. So, but let me know what you guys think of the deck. Drop some comments down below if you play something similar. I have another version. It's a green-white humans tokens deck, which is different. I might be playing that deck soon. Stay tuned for that deck. But let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, click that notification bell because I drop videos daily, so you'll get to know what I'm playing. Maybe there's a deck you'll like and you'll play it. So, but all these decks that I'm testing or putting up on the YouTube are playing in Mythic ladder. Obviously at the beginning of the season it'll be Platinum or Diamond, but I'm always playing it on the ladder, so you'll know how well it does against the current meta. So, but let me know what you guys think. Check the description, hit that thumbs up, subscribe button. Thanks for watching everyone. Thanks for tuning into my channel. I'll see you guys on the next video.